10 creatures and monsters from Latin America. Number 10. Mother of the Wind. This creature of Latin American legends is one of the 3 ancient snake mothers native to the Peruvian Amazon. This supernatural female guardian spirit is typically depicted as an enormous boa constrictor snake, but with an old woman's face and very long fair hair which tangles in the clouds. This gigantic snake spirit woman is the guardian of the air, as well as the mother over gentle breezes and raging storms, the matriarch of both good and evil winds. She also has the ability to grant powers to deserving healers and shamans, such as the power to control the weather. Number 9. Gaku Mama. This creature is an ancient sea monster, rumored by the indigenous people of South America to dwell within the Amazon River. This monster of the sea is typically depicted as a giant snake with a horned head. Some of the stories say that this gigantic beast is over 160 feet long. This ancient savage animal engorges itself with water, which it then utilizes to spray from its mouth and stun its prey. Some stories say that this beast of the water is the mother of all creatures who dwell within the Amazon River. Any poor soul, human or animal alike, who wanders within 100 paces of this dormant aquatic creature will find themselves sucked down into the waters below. Number 8. South American Bigfoot. This legendary ape-man was first described by the explorer Percy Fawcett, who was on an expedition in 1914 inside the jungles of Brazil, allegedly spotted the creature. The beastly man was described as an extremely hairy and very primitive in nature. The locals say that there is a whole tribe of these Bigfoot-like creatures who live in the mountains. The stories tell that these monstrous humanoid creatures are between 2 and 6 feet tall, though occasional reports warn that some reach heights as high as 12 feet high. Some people are prone to thinking that these creatures are some kind of missing link in our evolution. Number 7. Weather Fairies. From Bolivian folklore, these small fey folks are best known for having powerful magical ties to the weather, which they can manipulate to a degree. These cave-dwelling creatures generally appear as small wizened men, but are best known for their shy, fair-tempered nature. Few have ever seen a weather fairy in the pale glimmering flesh. Their clothes come in various color designs, depending on the weather patterns and whether or not they use magic. But typically, those fortunate enough to spot these elusive creatures find them wearing long robes, hand-sewn with leaves, animal fur, or scraps of cloth that they find. These fae have delicate latticework wings, very similar to dragonfly wings. These fairies of the weather take special care to protect the animals and plants inside their forested homes, and have a reputation for being ferocious and unforgiving, especially towards interloping human beings. Number 6. A little piece of the moon. From Paraguay, this creature of Latin American folklore is said to be one of the 7 cursed offspring of evil spirits. This monster of legend preys on human children, often taking the entranced tots into his dark cave. This monster is unique among these cursed offspring, as unlike his brothers, he does not appear like a monster. Instead, he takes on the form of a small child, with fair hair and stunningly beautiful, piercing blue eyes. This enchanting creature is often spotted carrying a magic wand. Number 5. El Claro. This creature is an extremely dangerous South American lake monster. It is said to have a hairless head and spine, wide pectoral fins, a long whip-like barbed tail, an extendable mouth full of ravenous fangs, and skin like leather. Think super evil, monstrous, primitive stingray. These cryptid creatures are most commonly spotted in glacially fed lakes near the Andes Mountains, as it will typically surge out of its lake and overwhelm its favorite prey, dim-witted human beings who wander too close to the water's edge, engulf their bodies with its humongous, unhinged mouth, and slip back into the watery realm from which it first sprung. And this all happens in a matter of mere seconds. Similar creatures have been seen scattered throughout the rivers and lagoons of Argentina and Chile, allowing this legend to grow, and the monster's legend to gain momentum around our world. Number 4. Lara. Also known as the mother of the water bodies, this figure from Brazilian mythology is the water queen, the lady of the lake. She is seen as a mermaid, siren, or water nymph depending on the legend. This creature takes the form of a beautiful young woman with green hair, brown eyes, and copper-colored skin. But the bottom half of her body is that of an enormous fish. This beautiful monster can usually be found near the shore, often sitting on a rock, combing her long locks of wet hair, singing her siren song. Once a man hears her haunting vocals, he will feel himself lured to her clutches. Once under her spell, this doomed male will live the rest of his life in her underwater palace as her servant for the rest of his days. These creatures are said to be immortal, more prevalent to freshwater springs and rivers, and are as beautiful as they are feared. A video from 2015, which made rounds online shown in this image here, is said to be this mermaid-like creature captured on film. What do you believe? Could these fishy legends actually be true? Let us know in the comment section below what you think. Number 3. The Pale Ones. The legends of these creatures originate from Colombia and Brazil. This bizarre species of monster has backward-facing feet, pale skin, is very tall in stature, its head is covered in black hair, its body lathered in thin black fur, jagged fangs, and large forward-facing ears. And though it's not easily evident to the naked eye, these strange creatures have no knee joints, so if they fall over, they have a great deal of difficulty getting back up again. This is one of their only vulnerabilities. If you ever find yourself in a fight with a pale one, kick hard and aim for those barren kneecaps. Number 2. The Enchanted Ones. These shape-shifting creatures from Brazil are were-dolphins. In human form, they are pale-skinned, graceful, and usually dressed in bright clothes of an old-fashioned style. For their appearance, think Brazilian vampires, only with a bald spot on top of their heads, where their dolphin blowhole remains. For this reason, while in human form, these monsters generally wear a posh hat, like a luxury top hat or bowler. Their true form is a large dolphin, though sometimes they will sport human hands at the end of their flippers. These creatures are best known for their superior musical abilities and their attraction to parties. Sometimes, these creatures will remain on land for extended periods of time, often masquerading around our world as traveling musicians. There are stories of boaters going completely insane after an encounter with one of these bizarre were-dolphins. Number 1. The Weeping Woman. This legendary ghost from Spanish-American folklore has roots originating in Mexico. This creature was born from a tragic tale about a beautiful woman named Maria. There are 7 variations of this solemn story, but here's the general gist. Maria was a beautiful maiden who was heavily sought after by all of the men in the village. Maria's ghost, clad in white, head bent, black hair soaking wet, and her cheeks lined in tears, is often seen walking the same path along the river's nighttime sandy shore crying, forever searching for her sons that she will never find. In this ghost's grief, she will snatch away children who wander into her path, dragging them into the river with her.